1. Everyone has a story in life. A 24-year-old boy seeing out from the train's window shouted, "Dad, look, the trees are going behind." Dad smiled, and a young couple sitting nearby looked at the 24-year-old's childish behavior with pity. Suddenly he again exclaimed, "Dad, look, the clouds are running with us." The couple couldn't resist and said to the old man, "Why don't you take your son to a good doctor?" The old man smiled and said, "I did, and we are just coming from the hospital. My son was blind from birth, he just got his eyes today." Every single person on the planet has a story. Don't judge people before you truly know them. The truth might surprise you. 2. Stop wasting your time complaining. People visit a wise man complaining about the same problems over and over again. One day, he decided to tell them a joke, and they all roared with laughter. After a few minutes, he told them the same joke, and only a few of them smiled. Then he told the same joke for a third time, but no one laughed or smiled anymore. The wise man smiled and said, "You can't laugh at the same joke over and over. So why are you always crying about the same problem?" 3. The obstacle in our path. There once was a very wealthy and curious king. This king had a huge boulder placed in the middle of a road. Then he hid nearby to see if anyone would try to remove the gigantic rock from the road. The first people to pass by were some of the king's wealthiest merchants and courtiers. Rather than moving it, they simply walked around it. A few loudly blamed the king for not maintaining the roads. Not one of them tried to move the boulder. Finally, a peasant came along. His arms were full of vegetables. When he got near the boulder, rather than simply walking around it as the others had, the peasant put down his load and tried to move the stone to the side of the road. It took a lot of effort, but he finally succeeded. The peasant gathered up his load and was ready to go on his way when he saw a purse lying in the road where the boulder had been. The peasant opened the purse. The purse was stuffed full of gold coins and a note from the king. The king's note said the purse's gold was a reward for moving the boulder from the road. The king showed the peasant what many of us never understand: every obstacle presents an opportunity to improve our condition. 4. On God's time. A man walked to the top of a hill to talk to God. The man asked, "God, what's a million years to you?" And God said, "A minute." Then the man asked, "Well, what's $1 million to you?" And God said, "A penny." Then the man asked, "God, can I have a penny?" And God said, "Sure, in a minute." 5. The false friend. Once two friends were walking through the forest. They knew that anything dangerous could happen to them at any time in the forest. So they promised each other that they would remain united in any case of danger. Suddenly, they saw a large bear approaching them. One of the friends at once climbed a nearby tree. But the other one did not know how to climb. So, being led by his common sense, he lay down on the ground breathless, pretending to be a dead man. The bear came near the man lying on the ground. It smelt in his ears, and slowly left the place. Because the bears do not touch the dead creatures. Now the friend on the tree came down and asked his friend on the ground, "Friend, what did the bear tell you into your ears?" The other friend replied, "The bear advised me not to believe a false friend." Moral of the story: being in a new surrounding with a new set of friends is indeed exciting if you're a student. But beware of the people who are just posing as your friend. In the same way, you have to be supportive of your friends by standing by them in any situation.